Alumni Weekend is such an important time to reconnect with old friends, create new memories, and honor our beloved alma mater. We are always striving to incorporate activities that our alumni find interesting while simultaneously highlighting the school today and its many advancements, and we hope you're enjoying this year's programming. As Alumni Weekend Chair, I was happy to plan for the first time 3 events sponsored by the Alumni Association Council as part of our Learning for Life series during Alumni Weekend. This year was a dynamic virtual entrepreneurship panel held yesterday via Zoom, where we welcomed 4 alumni guest speakers. Courtney Mays, class of '01, who is a celebrity stylist. Rahim Hassani, class of '84, who's the co-founder of New Me Tea. Alex Speck Slater, who just recently published, she's a published author and social media specialist. And Tyler Feather Whitmore, class of '75, who is the founder and designer of Tyler Whitmore Interiors. Together, they shared their experiences and tips for starting their own businesses. The panel was attended by alums from all years, and we hope to offer more virtual reunion events like this one in the future. For those of you who missed it, don't worry, the recording will be added to the HB website and in the digital HB magazine out this summer, so please make sure to check it out. In addition to stimulating our minds, the Alumni Council also wanted to get our bodies moving, so the council hosted a yoga class this morning in the dance studio with early childhood teacher Claire Wilson, and later today, Amanda Kaskar, class of '96, will lead a fun aerobics class via Zoom for our alumni that couldn't make it back to campus this year. Next year, we hope to add a pickleball tournament, so that'll be exciting. In addition to the events the Alumni Council sponsored, HB has created a compelling weekend of activities, which we hope you're enjoying. I know many of you yesterday had the opportunity to interact with students, tour the school, attend the Brown and Gold reception, and for the first time, participate in a solo voice cabaret show. Bravo to those who showcased their talents. I heard it was excellent. The class of 1997 also got to participate in the time-honored tradition of meeting their 3rd grade pen pals from class of 2032. It was wonderful to see the girls proudly leading their alumni sisters around the school. Today, the festivities continue, and alumni had the opportunity to learn about the Fellowship in Global Citizenship from Director and Chair Michael Chuney during the Coffee and Conversations session. Alumni were also invited to attend a 2nd session of the Stronad presentations by the Upper School Stronad Fellows. I know I speak for everyone when I say these students the talents that these students showcased was awe-inspiring. Speaking of Stronad Fellowship, I am thrilled to welcome Edna Dolly Stronad from the class of 1942, who founded the Edna Dolly Stronad Fellowships in Creativity in 1981. Please join me in welcoming Edna, who celebrated her 80th reunion last year, and her daughter, Lee Stronad, from the class of 1972, who are here with us today. Alumni Weekend is meant to be a celebration for all alumni from all class years, so we are delighted to have each and every one of you here with us this weekend, and we hope you'll come back for years to come. This weekend, we welcome 219 alumni representing 27 states, plus DC and 2 countries. I'd like to specifically recognize this year's milestone reunion years. When I call your class, please stand or wave to be recognized. 1948, 1953, 1958, 1963, 1968, 1973, 1978, 1983, 1988, 1993, 1998, no one here? 2003, 2008, 2013, and 2018. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize and thank those in attendance who are here with us today but are not from a milestone year. Please stand or wave to be recognized. During this time of celebration, it is only fitting for us to reflect and remember those that we have lost. Let's take a moment of silence to remember the alumni that we have lost since the last milestone reunion. Thank you. Now, as we head into the awards presentation, I also wanted to take a moment to recognize and thank the following individuals. Please stand or wave to be recognized. Past presidents of the Alumni Association, your time and guidance have been invaluable. Class correspondents, thank you for keeping us connected. Yeah, I saw you hiding over there, Catherine. Class correspondents, thank you for keeping us connected. I know that can sometimes be a thankless job. All alumni who have celebrated their 50th reunion, let's give them a round of applause. That's certainly something we all aspire for. And a big thanks to the class reunion volunteers. You've done a terrific job organizing individual class parties, encouraging attendance, promoting class giving. Without you, HB could not have pulled off such a great weekend. And as a token of our appreciation, we have a little gift for you, which you can pick up on your way out of the auditorium. Lastly, I'd like to recognize the alumni who have traveled the farthest to be here with us this weekend. Pamela Polite-Fisco, class of 73, and Kimberly Carr-Harmon, class of 73. They both traveled 2,466 miles from Mill Valley, California to be here with us this weekend. Let's give them a round of applause. Thanks, ladies. As I said in my welcome letter, Alumni Weekend is a time-honored and enduring tradition, and it's been an honor to be your chair this year and to meet and reconnect with so many of you. Now, without further ado, I'd like to welcome Elizabeth Falco, class of 2001, and president of the Alumni Association Council, to the podium to hand out the giving awards.
See if I can raise that a little bit. Well, good afternoon. It is such a pleasure to be here with you all today. As JJ said, I'm Elizabeth Falco, very proud member of the class of 2001. I might be the only one repping 01 here. Okay. And also the president of the Alumni Association Council. The Alumni Association Council encourages, cultivates, and maintains a spirit of fellowship and connection among all alumni. We provide opportunities for alumni to participate in programs that support the mission of the school and celebrate the values of a Hathaway Brown education. We look forward to finding new ways to activate and engage local alumni, as well as to further leverage the power of digital tools to enhance connections between alumni, regardless of class year or geographic location. We have a lot of exciting plans coming up this year, and we welcome you all to get involved. If you're interested in joining the council, please touch base with Missy or Mara this weekend. Thank you. Yay! Thank you all for joining us today for this very special celebration of sisterhood. And JJ, thank you so much for your thoughtful and dedicated service as Alumni Weekend Chair. Reunions are a special celebration, and we are grateful for everyone who made a reunion gift in honor of this milestone. Alumni philanthropy has had a transformative impact on our school. When we were students, we benefited from the generosity of alums who came before us, and now I want to thank all of you who chose to continue this legacy of giving to benefit the HB students of today. Today, I am excited to present 3 awards. The classes receiving these awards will take a picture with your award following the ceremony down in the atrium. So first, the Alumni Association Past President's Bowl is presented on behalf of the Alumni Council's past presidents to the class that has given the most dollars to Hathaway Brown during the reunion year, contributing an astonishing $94,860. The winner of this year's Alumni Association Past President's Bowl is the class of 1958. That is incredible. Thank you all for your generosity. The next 2 awards celebrate the classes that represent the highest participation in giving to HB, truly exemplifying the idea that every single gift matters and that our collective impact can be just as meaningful as an individual gift. The Young Alumni Participation Award is presented to the class up to 15 years after graduation with the highest percentage of participation. This year, the award goes to the class of 2008. Anyone here from 2008? Yay! You all are amazing with 13% participation. Lily, thank you for representing. Oh, yay, we have 2. Our final award this afternoon is the Jane Geckler Selbach 39 Champagne Cup. Ooh. This annual award recognizes the class with the highest percentage of participation during their reunion year. This year, the award goes to the class of 1973 with an amazing The class of 1973 had an amazing 62% participation. Wow. So you all are celebrating with a champagne toast at lunch, so double congrats to you all. So thank you all. One more round of applause for everybody. And now I'd like to welcome Head of School, Dr. Fran Bissell, up to the podium.
Thank you, Elizabeth, and thank you, JJ, and thank you, everyone, for coming. Missy and Mara have done an incredible job organizing this, as well as the advancement team, so I want to say a special thank you to all the behind-the-scenes work that makes a weekend like this come together so beautifully. State of the School, it has been the best year. We finally, post-pandemic, we can say it's post. And we know that girls thrive with routine and traditions, and it just feels like things are back to normal. And yet, because there was that pandemic and the girls did miss some school, they don't take it for granted. And every day is really a moment to celebrate. So it has been a tremendous year. And a little bit about where our girls are coming from. Still, very broadly, about 80 different towns across Northeast Ohio, and we continue to broaden our geographic reach every year. We have quite a diverse student body. If you were at the Stranads this morning, you saw that lots of different explorations of their heritage, and there are 30 different languages spoken at home of our HB students. And what's interesting about this is our current student body. Of the accepted students thus far, over 51% do not identify as white. So we're becoming more and more diverse. Our fastest growing population of girls religiously is our Muslim girls. So it's really been an amazing thing to watch HB broaden our reach and have so much incredible family experience enhance their education here. A little bit about, we give around $6.2 million of financial aid every year, student tuition assistance. It goes to the upper school. This graph is a little funny because there are that many more upper schoolers, right? We have about 360 girls in the upper school versus about 170 in the middle school. So, and it's also more expensive to come to the upper school. But we are so proud that we tried to make sure that every girl who deserves an HB education can get one, and part of that is due to your incredible generosity. And what we love is the sisterhood in action. Yes, Catherine, I put this in here for you, but this is a great, because we do have an ice skating team, and it's 5th grade through 12th grade, and it's joyful, really, every day. Some of you, I hear a lot that, hey, HB is a little different from when I went here. What makes it so different? And part of it is a real intentional approach to education that is a girl's advantage. We want not just to have distinguished academics in the classroom, but allow them to put that knowledge in action through fellowships that also can produce an empowered girl, that leadership quality where they become very confident, and this celebrated community, this idea that we can appreciate and understand difference and hear difference, whether it's intellectual difference, it's background differences. And so this is our Learn for Life kind of signature approach. And we've worked hard with actually researchers on how we can do this the very best way for girls. And it really is a girl's advantage. When this is a little bit of a word cloud of when folks come to HB and they're interviewing in the admissions process. What do they see? What do they hear? What do they want? And I'm really proud that I do believe, if you saw those Stranads today, we have confident girls who are prepared and empowered and ready to tell their story and ready to find that potential within. We also want to balance the rigor, the pressure, the out of reach. It was funny, some parents were like, don't give us much homework, but please get my child into Harvard. Those kinds of balances are really important to try to find, and we work hard with the girls and with parents to really holistically think about what the experience should be at every developmental level. Just to remind you, we have 860 girls, I should say 860 students, because we have some of our early childhood young gentlemen. And I say students because we do have 6-week-olds here. We have a daycare. And so if you think about lunch, between the students and the faculty and staff, there's over 1,000 people at lunch here every day. So it's a very dynamic community. What made this year so special? Yes, we won the swimming state championship. Yes, we did. We also went to Worlds for robotics, and this is our robotics team. I could have a million different accolades academically, but I've just highlighted two. Emily Wilson is one of our U.S. Presidential Scholar semifinalists. We have Hua Feng, who got a huge recognition in our Regeneron Science and Talent program. We have 11 seniors who will be playing collegiate athletics where they go next year. And what's interesting about this is there's 97 seniors, 51 of them participate in athletics, and 11 of them are going to play next year. So that is a high percentage of students who we trained a dog. A seeing eye dog this year was a part of our community, and it was a wonderful community project that's still going on. And if you, Beth Armstrong, who is retiring next year, was at our party last night with Thor. We're proud of Thor. We celebrated, finally, we could be all together and celebrate things like Chinese New Year and Black History Month. We had Heritage Day and Heritage Dinner. We had authors come to HB. We had Jamil Zaki and Catherine Sanderson, two fabulous books to put on your summer list if you haven't read them yet. The War for Kindness, and talking about building a culture of empathy. He's a Stanford professor, and he was, I think, just terrific. The Positive Shift, Catherine Sanderson is also a professor at Amherst. Next year, in this Learn for Life kind of moment, we will have Never Enough. Jennifer Wallace will be coming in October. Her book's not quite out yet. Betsy Griffith, Formidable, is an amazing history, women's history anthology, and she will be coming to celebrate women's history with us. So that was exciting and fun this year. Our class of 1970 that missed their reunion because of the pandemic came back for their 70th birthday, which was outstanding in October. We moved. Mid-year, we had to move from the dorm into a refurbished Link building, and so this was what the move looked like, volunteers and kids celebrating. I see Lisa was on the move team, Muscles involved in that one. If you were able to walk around school, you'll notice a lot more living rooms. The architecture really does bring sisterhood in a tangible way to every grade, and we're really proud. I tell the story often that our architect from Gund, David Zenk, is from Boston. Every time he comes, he asks for a tour. And about the third time, when I was a little newer, I said, David, you know your way around. You kind of built the place. Like, why do you keep asking for a tour? And he says, I want to hear what the girls say, what they need, what they want. And so much of the spaces really embody our mission in the sense of how we can deliver for girls an experience that is empowering. This is really exciting with all this work and groundbreaking on the dorm, which I'm really proud of. And we were able to announce our Lighting of the Way campaign. We've been achieving so much with all of our buildings and grounds, and you probably say, well, how are we doing this? We have raised $57 million thus far. And one of the things that we've been really focused on the board, and of course Clark and her team, is making sure we don't saddle with debt the future generations of HB, so that we can do these projects well now and can do them responsibly. And so we are thrilled to announce this campaign, and because it's been so successful, we were going to extend it to our 150th year. So it's really, I'm so proud of how much we've accomplished thus far, and in 3 years, we will celebrate this even more with our 150th coming up. So when you're asked to join this effort, I really hope that you will do so with generosity. It really is exciting to see so much of the transformation happening and how it has enhanced the learning experience for every child who is here. Traditions, yes, there's still Brown and Gold Day. There's still EDO, and it's really an exciting moment. This is the juniors getting their roses from the seniors. When you take pictures in our gym, they never come out so good, but the moment is really special still. Zero the Hero, if you were in primary school, 100th day of school is something to celebrate. If it's snowy outside, we move recess indoors, so it may not be a tradition, but it happens every day. It's really fun. Order of the Willing Servants, right? Is that what it's called? And we still have a lot of community service that is built into the curriculum for all grades. And this is the second grade going to the food bank. And before this year, we weren't able to go out into the community like we have been this year. And it's really made a difference in kind of how girls perceive themselves as something larger and bigger than themselves. Community. Brown bag. Please go after this. Great sweatshirts. This is the second grade doing their cultural festival. Of course, we have the Notable Women Project, which is a really important part of our fourth grade. Hootenannies, if you remember Hootenannies, this is one going on in middle school. The science fair, this is the middle school. We have an amazing SREP science fair as well. Senior nights, when every sport where the senior and their family get celebrated. This is the day before winter break. We all get in our pajamas, and that is me in my pajamas, reading books. We have a read-in, which has been a tradition as long as I've been here. I'm going to say it's at least 15, 20 years old. Blazer breakfast, where the families can come in the morning to start their day off right. We have one in the fall and one in the spring. Our trips were back this year. Middle school goes to Washington, D.C., and the 7th grade, I think, goes camping and all different places. And of course, Mike Chooney was able to take the global scholars to South Korea and to Italy and Spain and France. Next year, I believe they go to India. These are really important trips. Again, that kind of knowledge in action moment. And they were all able to go. And the girls just had a fabulous time. This is Legacy Day, and it has been a tradition here, I'm going to say for at least 15, 20 years, where the second graders act out the founding of Hathaway Brown at Legacy Day. And so one of them is the mean Mr. Smith, who's saying, you cannot come to the Brooks Military Academy, these girls. And it's really sweet. And Legacy Day, of course, is about popsicles and dancing, and this is the seniors who are partaking in all of that, which is really fun. Convocation, when we start our school year, and we have a tradition that we've started where we clap in the kindergartners, and in 2 weeks we will clap out our seniors in the 147th commencement exercises. And then as long as the pool's been around, it's been a tradition for the seniors to jump in the pool and sing the alma mater, and it's really fun. And you can see all the students cheering them on in the stands. Our 97 seniors will go to 67 different colleges across the country, including some international. We have a senior going to a school in Japan and another senior going to school in Scotland. And so it has been just a fabulous year filled with joy. Of course, created by an incredible faculty and staff. We have 100 faculty and about 100 staff at HB. And they create the magic every day in amazing ways. This picture I love because this picture is from the the ITC, the Infant and Toddler Center. But in this picture are 2 faculty children. And so one of the reasons we have a daycare is so we can keep our talented faculty and staff here, and they can be a mom and an extraordinary educator all in the same place and have women look at them as a role model. And so it's really an important key part of who we are. This literally, we have rock stars, and this is the new faculty rock band, and they were performing at the talent show, and they were outstanding. We have also faculty getting high awards across the country. Beth Birch just got the top high school teacher of the year, which is amazing. What are our teachers talking about? We're talking about AI. Who isn't in education today? We're talking about mental health and making sure we can achieve a good balance. Talking about parents and parent anxiety. We're talking about gender and those conversations that are happening nationally and how that affects who we are as a girls' school. And we are a girls' school and so proud to be one. And that's an important part of our mission. I included this because I wanted you to see what our girls are presenting to each other. And so in preparation for exams, it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And this is how they were themselves getting ready for what they knew was a stress, a month that may have a little bit of stress, a little bit more. Taylor Swift yoga is happening with Miss Wilson, who you also had Claire Wilson do yoga for you this morning. So this is just all students helping other students, trying to make sure they find the right balance. And so I thought that that was interesting that you could see that these conversations are happening among our students. This is Marty Frazier. He's our Dean of Faculty. And we had 20 new faculty to HB last year. And so we had very focused Dean of Faculty helping them acclimate. We have mentor programs for our faculty. Nikki Laser, a long tenured faculty, mentoring a new faculty member named Patrick Mooney. And we are so proud that our faculty are presenting at the International Coalition of Girls' Schools, which is happening in Cleveland, partly because HB is worldly known as one of the top girls' schools in the world. And a strong community with Laurel nearby as well. We are excited to be able to present this year. We do research with many different organizations, Oberlin College. This is actually research we're doing with the Educational Record Bureau on how social and emotional learning affects academic achievement. And we try to, as we become more diverse in our student body, attract and retain diverse faculty to inspire and support them as well. This group was actually at a conference, which was great. We have teachers teaching teachers across Northeast Ohio. Jason Habig is a adjunct professor at Baldwin Wallace, as is Laura Webster. And Chelsea Thiel, who's our middle school music teacher, teaches at Kent State University. So I know that it's not just here that we're teaching, but beyond. And this is so much stuff here, but I just wanted to let you know is our professional development budget, which is supported by our fund for Hathaway Brown, is robust, and we have teachers going all over the world doing many kinds of professional development. I found this in the archives. This is from 1924, before the dorm was built. This is what the architect presented to the Board of Trustees as to what they wanted, what the architect heard the board wanted when they were designing the dorm. And we have been very focused on optimizing campus for 21st century learning, which was a part of our strategic plan that I inherited from Bill Christ, which is a brilliant plan and has helped this come to fruition. So far, we have renovated the classic building. We have built a new turf field, thanks to the generosity of the Wolf sisters, who were able to transition their field to the new turf, and we were able to name the Scaravelli Memorial Field for Scout and Chasey. We were able to build a new maintenance building so we can take care of everything. We just finished the link in February, and now we're on to the dorm. These are big and bold projects, and I am thrilled with how they're coming out. Our girls are involved in it. This is actually the gentlemen from Higley who help us. They're a part of our school community. But our girls in the fellowships are a part of these conversations. So it's not just something happening to them. We get to use these projects almost as fellowships in and of themselves, so they can hear and understand construction management. But this is the new link, and it's beautiful. I wanted to let you know that we want to make sure we preserve all the green space as best we can. We don't want to have a lot of building happening on place. We only have 16 acres, so we want to make sure that that space, this is the only green space we sacrificed. It's called the Big Dig, I call it, and it's going to be for systems underground so they can be safe and away from children's hands. But a parent sent me this one morning. Wow, things are really happening. They were in the car line, as you can see. When we take off the layers in the dorm, we find things. I guess anybody remember this? The old gym? Yes? And so when we pull up, anytime we can save the old wooden floors, we try to. But this is what they're doing right now. This is happening actually. I took this picture, or this picture was taken probably 2 months ago, but this is still happening. This is the abatement process in the dorm right now. This summer, we will be doing the infant and toddler rooms. The chem lab will get an update. And if you saw the robotics, we're going to add on a new metal shop as part of the Idea Lab downstairs. And our current construction project is about 15,000 square feet more than the classic building construction project. So it's a big thing happening. I only say this that while these big projects are happening, we're also taking care of the things that we do well. We just had this room painted 2 summers ago. We have a new oven that came in. We have new elevator coming. We have new security that we are always optimizing. The girls actually are working with our mechanical engineer to understand these systems. We're always fixing the roof. Always. This is the girls actually in the attic with our mechanical engineer, understanding why systems are the way they are. We vote on furniture for faculty and staff, so they're a part of that conversation, and that's important. And I'm so proud of the art on the walls and how each of the girls have curated a special space that showcases how they've synthesized their knowledge with regards to what they've learned in art class. So yes, we are building the future. and it's really been exciting. If you were out in the Cortland lot, you will see that there's a space between the link and the dorm, and that is going to be for this new atrium-esque welcoming space. And this is designed. This will be the new entrance for the primary and early childhood divisions, and it's much safer, and also that same sense of light from one side of the building going to the other side of the building. And this will be coming in June 2024. I thought this was an interesting rendering, and I wanted to share it with you because when we got this back, we said to the architect, we don't like the wooden wall. It doesn't say anything to us. It's not great. And they came back, well, maybe we should have the notable women specially featured when you walk into the 4th grade. So this is the kind of conversations that the girls are a part of, the faculty is a part of. We also wanted to make sure it wasn't too serious, so silly women and future notable women when the youngest ones come into that front hall. This is the Science Center. That will be a big part. We are so proud of how science is an amazing part of our curriculum, early childhood through grade 12. This is another iteration. This was the one rendering, and this is the art room, and the girls said, we don't like it. So they changed it. So it's not just an architect that goes to Boston and does it. The constant conversation to make sure these spaces reflect who we are as a community. The Idea Lab, Leah Jackson wrote out what she wanted, and then the architect said, well, does this work? And so the architect was playing around with just kind of different ideas. So this was us in 1927, and this will be us in 2027. And this, of course, is the last piece of that frontier, which will be the new playground, which we're hopeful will be done as well at that time. We can do it. This past January, we published our strategic plan, the next strategic plan. So all of this renovation and things that have been happening is the last strategic plan. This next strategic plan has 6 priorities. I do hope you have an opportunity to read it. And we asked for so much alumni feedback when we made it. But these are the questions that the Board of Trustees and the Heads Council are asking about making sure access, we can have the girls who want to come here to be able to come here, expanding our tuition assistance, making sure we have the very best teachers, and keeping them here, whether it's through professional development and the most competitive salary, and how we can support our faculty and staff and our students. And of course, this alumni network, how can we be the strongest? I already know we are very strong in that. But those are the 4 things that the what ifs. And I told this story last night, but Amanda from the class of 2018 walked into this bar, and we're in New York. She's like, I am new to New York. I've been here 2 months. I don't know how this city works. I need some help. And when she left this alumni gathering, she had 30 phone numbers, coffee dates, wine dates, professional connections. And she turned to me and she goes, this was such a gift. I'm so glad I came. And I think that there are so many young professionals out there that need that sisterhood moment even beyond senior year. And so we're thrilled to be able to facilitate that. And finally, I am having fun. It's a lot of work, but this is a lot of fun. This is Pie Day, where you get to throw a pie into a faculty member's face. One of the girls, I'm not kidding you, over 300 digits she memorized of pi. And part of that was she could really figure out who she wanted to throw the pie. And Michael Bisher and I were the top prospects. I was Mary Raymond for Halloween. I thought it was funny. The girls really didn't get it. My office is actually in a little closet near the front, and it's just temporary until we get the dorm built. But the 2nd grade made me a window because my office has no window, and they wrote me this very sweet note. You're so generous to let us have your room. The traditional head of school's office is temporarily a 2nd grade room. And it's just the lovely notes that happen, and that's them. This is me losing for the first time ever in Brown and Gold Day to an 8th grader who out-climbed me, and I'm climbing in a dress because I was running as fast as I can to the Brown and Gold Day moments. This is with faculty and staff. This is Candace, who is one of our new people who works in the kitchen. She was so nervous to come to our holiday party. She brought her mom, and I said, Candace, come on, let's go get our picture taken. And so the celebrated community really is not just teachers. This is me in the dunk tank. Yeah, the Parent Association thought it was a good idea to have a dunk tank, and that I would be the first to go in. I put this in because I'm in Thayer Sylvester, who owns Carve. I'm actually in one of her bathing suits. But she told me that it was way like 3 seasons ago, and I need to update my bathing suit. So this is Dave and I dressed for the superhero cocktail party, and this is me at EDO. And I will say, I love being here. It is a privilege and honor to be a part of this community and to see these girls flourish and thrive every day and enjoy HB. So a great year. I'm glad to give the update and thank you. And now what we've really been waiting for is the Alumnae Achievement Awards. HB established the Alumnae Achievement Award Program in 1983 with this Distinguished Alum Award, and then added the Alumnae Achievement Award in 2004. And over the last 40 years, we have honored 73 distinguished alums and one entire class. I believe that was the class of 1984. And all of our alum are remarkable and impactful and accomplished in their own way. And of course, but today, we really pause to celebrate 4 amazing women. You can also read more about them in our digital issue of the HB magazine, which will come out next month. We are so thrilled to honor these HB women, and so I will begin with our Barb Webster Mixon, class of 1958, who is here celebrating her 65th reunion. So Barb, why don't you come up, and I'm going to talk about you while you're here. So I'm going to speak a little bit about Barb, and then I'm going to give her the microphone. How appropriate that Barb recently shared that what she remembers best about HB are the lifelong friends. She remembers fondly the gatherings in the auditorium and all the special events that happened there, 4th and 8th grade graduations, plays, and speakers. She also remembers Miss Coburn saying something special every morning, even if it was just "Go Indians." Barb went on to graduate from Wellesley College, and then just 3 days after graduation, she married Mal. The young couple moved to Hawaii with the Marine Corps, where Barb worked as the Naval Supply Center at Pearl Harbor doing statistical work. Back stateside, they made a stop in Massachusetts while Mal attended Harvard Business School, and Barb worked as an IRS agent. Then they moved back to Cleveland, and the rest is history. Barb and Mal supported numerous charitable and academic causes in the Cleveland area, investing in the institutions that truly make Cleveland a wonderful place to live and work and create. Some of the highlights of their community involvement have included work with the Cleveland Institute of Music, Case Western Reserve University, the Cleveland Clinic, and of course, Hathaway Brown School. Barb is very proud of her family, many of whom are here today, and I know her family is equally proud of her. She has a son, Kai, and a daughter, Liz, class of 1987, and 6 grandchildren. When recently asked about advice for the next HB generation, Barb shared, "Take care of what's around you. Take care of your family. Help your friends and help your community." Barb, you are an inspiration to so many. Thank you for all you've done to care for all those around you. We are deeply, deeply grateful.
I think things have kind of changed since I was here. HB has always been a great part of my life. I started school here, and try not to gasp, 76 years ago. And since then, my daughter and granddaughter graduated from HB. So maybe this is more of a longevity award, I'm not sure. But my husband was, you might call him a serial entrepreneur. He was a great follower of the old saying, throw enough, what on the wall and some of it will stick. And luckily, a lot of it did, and that enabled us to support a lot of people and organizations over the year. It is so important for everybody to seek out and embrace issues and organizations that they really feel strongly about. For us, the priorities were always family, friends, community, and country. And I think my children and grandchildren will probably carry on the tradition.
Thanks, Barb. Our next two Distinguished Alumnae Award recipients are both from the class of 1973, which is celebrating their 50th reunion. Holly Boyer-Scott is not able to attend in person today, but I'm pleased to present her with the Distinguished Alum Award. An HB lifer, Holly's earliest memories on our campus were in 1960 on her first day of kindergarten. While it was entertaining, especially since she was curious about the 4 boys in her class, by lunchtime she'd had enough. She approached the legendary Miss Van Houten and said, "Thank you, this was nice, but I'd like to go home now." Without missing a beat, Miss Van Houten helped her gather her things and called her mother to pick her up. The next day she was back, and all was well. Holly remembers Miss Van Houten's kindness, the fact that she listened and she knew what was needed. HB teachers, aren't they the best? Perhaps that might have had something to do with Holly becoming an educator herself. After graduating from Williams College, she went on to earn a master's in education from John Carroll, specializing in guidance and counseling. Her journey took her to various roles, from a classroom teacher and field hockey coach to the directorship of the Cleveland Council of Independent Schools. She even met her husband, Peter, while working at Hawken in 1982. Outside of her work in education, Holly is proud of her volunteer work over the years with organizations and healthcare professionals towards ensuring reproductive rights and healthy autonomy for all women. When she was recently asked about advice she might give the next HB generation, I loved what Holly said. Don't be a bystander. Take action. Take a stand. Never stop learning. Take what HB has to offer. Safety to try new things, to be you in all your iterations, and then go with it. Be bold and gentle, and stand up and help others along the way. Please join me in honoring Holly with the 2023 Hathaway Brown Distinguished Alum Award. And all right.
Hello, class of 73. I'm so sorry I can't be with you this weekend as we celebrate, amazingly, 50 years since we graduated from Hathaway Brown. I am honored and humbled and a little baffled by this award because I see this as really a shared award with each of you. I would suggest you take a look to the left and to your right, and you will see amazing women. You will see artists and writers, musicians, educators, community activists, scientists, geologists, doctors, nurses, retail people, realtors, financiers, mothers, partners, friends. All of us made who we are by the time we spent here at HB. I know for one that I don't go many days without a nod to the likes of Judy Cortez or Peg McCreary or Senora Bartolome or Miss Jensen, Mrs. Lucer, Miss Van Houten, and not just for teaching us the answers to the odd Jeopardy potpourri for 30 or a crossword clue, but also answers to the big questions. How to be inclusive, how to wait your turn, how to be kind, how to get yourself up when you get knocked down, and how to laugh at oneself. So I suggest that you laugh a lot this weekend as you walk the halls and think of the antics, not so wild, of the 70s that we engaged in. And to remember that as I do, that motto really is true. That we learn and we laugh and we make friends, not just for school, but for life. Oh yeah, and one more thing. And if any of you have these with you, feel free to get up and wave them with me because, as I always say, go gold. Okay, see you at the 55th. Take care.
And next, I'd like to present our last Distinguished Alum Award to Holly's classmate, Annie Morris Tate, the class of 1973. She couldn't make it to Cleveland this weekend. She does live in Australia, after all. But she does hope to visit this fall, and we are thrilled to take some time to honor her. Through all life's twists and turns, Annie's commitment to nurturing relationships has remained steadfast. As Holly Boyer-Scott noted about Annie, no one has held HB closer to her heart for all these years than Annie. Kind and hardworking, humble and generous, Annie is, despite her insistency to the contrary, as distinguished as they come. To Annie, friendships are everything, and she credits HB for giving her a sense of community in which she could flourish. A true chameleon, she has had many eclectic experiences in life. She worked for the U.S. government, where she said she was bored out of her mind, so she quit and began working at a startup microbrewery. While there, a contact from her time working on the campaign trail called and asked her to help coordinate Margaret Thatcher's speaking engagements with the Washington Speakers Bureau. This led to 2 years of work and travel with the former UK Prime Minister, and then subsequently with General Colin Powell, James Baker, and Lee Iacocca. What an exciting time. But she says her most rewarding job was working for the Friends of the Cleveland School of the Arts, where she was the development director. A pivotal moment for Annie came in 2000 when she was on vacation in Australia. On the third day of her trip, she started talking to a man standing behind her at a coffee shop. The next thing you know, at age 46, they got married. She left her job, home, family, and everything, and as she puts it, that was a big change indeed. Despite the thousands of miles that now stretch between Annie and her beloved alma mater here in Shaker Heights, we are absolutely thrilled to present to her this Distinguished Alum Award. Please join me in congratulating Annie, who has also sent us a video to share.
Hi everyone. Thank you for coming together for Reunion Weekend. I always enjoy it and am genuinely very sorry to miss this special year for the class of 1973. 50 years. In many ways, it seems like yesterday. I'm sorry to be looking down periodically, but I needed to write out what I wanted to say. I am a fourth generation HB student, and there is a fifth generation alumni contingent also celebrating a reunion this weekend. HB is a very special place and I hold it dear to my heart. HB gave me a foundation that enabled me to go confidently into the wider world and a supportive environment where I could establish lifelong friendships that to this day I could not do without. I am forever grateful for that. While I am appreciative of this recognition, I am more confused and humbled by it. When I read the Alumnae magazine, I am in awe of the accomplishments of HB graduates, and the contributions they have made towards the betterment of our world and society. My beloved pal, Holly, had a screw loose when she put my name forward, but I love her to bits and I thank everyone involved. There are two guiding principles that I do my best to practice every day. One is my mother always telling me and my siblings, those of us who live in glass houses should not throw bricks. The other is the way Ellen DeGeneres ended every show, be kind to one another. Thank you very much and enjoy your weekend.
Annie and I talked a few times when I said that she was nominated, and she cried every time. So that was true to who she is. Congrats to our distinguished Alumnae Award recipients. Our last award to be presented today is the Alumnae Achievement Award. Hathaway Brown presents this award each year to an alum in recognition of significant accomplishments in her professional or civic roles. It was established in 2004 and is given to an alum who has graduated within the past 30 years. This year, we are honored to recognize Lily Roberts, class of 2008. Come on up, Lily. Now I get to talk about you here, right? From the halls of Hathaway Brown to the halls of the United States Capitol, Lily makes her mark and creates change. She currently leads the Inclusive Economy team at the Center for American Progress, an independent, nonpartisan policy institute that is dedicated to improving the lives of Americans through bold, progressive ideas. She works on all kinds of policy issues, foreign policy, disability justice, and healthcare, to name a few. And just recently, she testified before Congress to help connect a historical topic with contemporary economic issues. Lily credits HB with pushing her to pursue things in which she was curious, and she cherishes the meaningful relationships with her HB teachers who were able to take her energy and direct it in interesting ways. As a student, she spent a lot of time in the Writing Center, where she playfully had a sheriff's badge and was the, quote, sheriff of the Writing Center. No backpacks left around here. And after graduating in 2008, Lily pursued an undergraduate degree in English and military history at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and then completed a master's in social work at Case Western Reserve University. Today, Lily's job at the Center for American Progress has her managing a big team working on improving the economy, particularly for people who have been left out of growth or investment over the last few centuries. They look at everything from gender to race to geography and education level, disability and immigration status, all things that keep people from reaching their full potential and participation. Lily, we are so proud of the work you are doing. You bring great pride to HB, and it's a pleasure to present to you the 2023 Alumnae Achievement Award.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored by this, and I feel like I haven't been at this podium in 15 years, but I did make many a morning announcement, so it feels right. Thank you so much. I can't say enough about the wonderful experience I had at HB. As Fran said, the push from teachers and students to be creative, to tackle problems that most 14-year-old girls would think are far out of their grasp. There was never a moment where anyone doubted that we were all able to make meaningful contributions to the world, no matter how old we were, no matter how energetic or too much we were. And I really appreciate that HB never put me in a box and allowed me to pursue everything that sort of came into my mind. And I will forever cherish the relationships with my fellow students, several of whom I see in the audience now. I can't thank my parents and my family enough for their support and for the opportunity to attend HB. And while I'm doing thank yous, I feel like every single HB presentation had to end with a thank you to Nancy West or to Mrs. Strnad. So, and if you didn't do that, you would get in a lot of trouble with Mr. Morse. So I will thank Nancy West and Mrs. Strnad just for all of the many presentations over the years. Thank you.
Great. Before I ask JJ to come back up, I will leave you with this. This year, of our 97 graduates, we have one graduate whose mother went to HB, whose grandmother went to HB, whose great-grandmother went to HB, whose great-great-grandmother went to HB. And I could not be more proud of the legacy of strong, bold, kind women that we have here. So thank you, alums, for all you do to create that. So.
Thanks, Fran, for that update. As I was looking at the pictures of the construction, the song, "We're Under Construction," wasn't that 93? Yeah, I remember. It's still in the back there somewhere. We got to bring that one back. Once again, congratulations to all the award recipients. You're truly an inspiration to all of us. I'd like to thank you all one last time for being here to celebrate Alumni Weekend with us. And one last big thank you to all class reunion volunteers for all of your hard work. And now as we close out the program, I invite you to stand or stay seated as we sing the HB Alma Mater together. For those of you who need a little refresher, the words are on the back of your program.